Hi, my name is Michelle Wilson, and I'm with M&M Film Talk, where we talk to real people in film. We are so excited about you tuning in to M&M Film Talk, and we want to thank you guys for showing up and tuning in on our show. We've gotten all these messages from you, and we appreciate your views and your comments. Please continue to email us at M&M Film Talk. Let us know if you want to be on the show. We'll love to have you on the show. I will respond, and I'll get that information out to you. So also, now we're just here today. We have a wonderful actor here, and he does so much more, but I'm going to let him introduce himself. So go right ahead, introduce yourself to the audience.
Well, my name is Brandon Person, and I got introduced to the film world really through music about 7 years ago here in the city of Memphis, not that far from here, at a place called Hattie Lou Theater. And I wasn't looking for anything specific, but people who are into acting and film and all that, they know that music is a gateway drug.
Yes.
So like you love music, you sing at church, you may be a worship leader, you might be into any type of thing like that, and it's just sometimes those doors fling open, sometimes you just find your way in there. And so I just had a chance meeting with someone, and my friend was she was the musical director for a play, and I met so many wonderful people that are still working now in the city and other places, but she introduced me to a director who's now in Chicago. He was doing a play called Serafina. I had never done a show before. That was my first production. I'd done church before, but you know they gotta clap for you at church. They have to clap for you.
Yes, they're real nice about that.
Yeah. So when I don't know why it was in my heart. Like I was like, I want to do this, and so I did it. And I was asking myself afterwards, where has this been, and where have I been, and why haven't I been doing this? And a good friend of mine from grade school, he actually was like, man, I think you found your calling. And I was like, I don't know about that, but I definitely found something that I'm passionate about. For the first time in my life, I felt very confident. I felt confident, but I also felt competent. Sometimes you reach places in your life where you just like, I don't think I'm a very smart person, or I don't think that this is right for me, or people are better than me at it. And I finally found something that I could excel at. And other things were opened up to me through the medium of film. I met some friends, I got some colleagues through it.
Wow.
I had some beautiful relationships. Some that are not so great. Some that they're on the skids, and I probably won't ever see them again. And that happens, but it's
and that's okay too.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna, when you on this journey with this brand new thing that you've actually tap into, because it's a brand new area of your life, and it's exciting. And once you get involved in it, you'll meet a lot of people who will be in your life for just a moment, or a lifetime, or for a season.
Right.
Whatever reason that they're in your life, utilize it, grab hold to it, and be excited about it.
Right.
That's what I do, and I just think everybody should just do that. Well, tell us about some of the projects that you have actually got a chance to work on. Well, you said about Serafina, and I've seen that. That's great.
Everything has been spotted here and there, but when I first started, the projects that I wanted were coming. I did a lot of musical theater, and I enjoyed it so much. But I started to realize that film didn't take up as much as your time. So I got into film. My very first major project, which I thought I was gonna be like, man, I done made it. I'm done. I'm finna go
Hollywood,
to LA.
here I come.
It didn't happen, but I got a major part on a show called Fatal Attraction, and it's worldwide. People know the show. And I had never seen it ever, and it's on TV One. They shoot it in Knoxville, and so I was a bit part. It's a reenactment, so I played a guy who gets killed. I had lines, but the sound was off, but it was excellent. People were like, man, man, you look good. And it felt good, you know.
So the gratification that you received from that, it was probably amazing.
It was instant, especially it was more instant now that you have social media. But I can't imagine being somebody who was like, they gotta wait months for their movie to come out. Like y'all get to see it, but now everything's on demand, so it was different. But thereafter, I was in a short film that's a web series, and I ended up getting in a couple of those. Shout out to Brittany Butler. Then I did some more film, but most of them were like web series. I did a web series. We did 6 installments with a friend of mine named Latricia Bobo. I don't know if you've interviewed her yet, but she should definitely be on the list. But I don't want to ramble.
That information
I really don't want to ramble, but I've done a lot of theater. But film is something that I was very passionate about.
And you know, the good thing about your start, being able to be on stage. I think everyone who goes into film as an actor, I've heard people say, well, I just do film. I don't like stage. I don't do stage. I say, well, you need to, because that's where you learn the most.
Yep.
You learn and you get you get your foot wet and you get an opportunity to be able to be more expressive.
Exactly.
It's a really exciting thing. So stage is wonderful, and it still should be a part of it, because if you look at a lot of big actors out there, most of them say that they love the fact that they got an opportunity to just be on stage.
Two things. When I first started, even before I started, I used to watch actors, and I've always loved watching actors. I'm a big film and movie. I like learning about people.
Exactly.
Samuel Jackson, people like that, and it took me a long time to figure out that those people started in theater. And that's why they're so good. But I also used to go, why are they going back to theater? They're making all this money. And it's because that's where their passion was.
That's it.
And they went back to hone their skills, and they came back and they were even better. And now that I'm on the inside part of it, sort of, kind of a little bit, I see like, oh, this is where it's raw, and you get to touch the people and get to see them and
feel what they feel right off the bat, so that way you can always never get off of focus when you're on camera.
No.
Because that keeps you focused on the real side of it.
Yes, it
does. And that's what I love about stage.
What it is. That's exactly what it is.
And that's what I love about it. So now, just tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you may have encountered.
When you not getting work.
Okay. That's definitely a challenge.
It sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And sometimes it can make you feel somewhat defeated or deflate your actual dream. And you say, well, should I not do this? Because you get a lot of people say, oh, this is something, oh, that's just a hobby, or that, when are you going to get a real job? And all that kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh, I'm a whole 41 right now. I still have family members that they don't say it, but I know they're like, why don't you just
stop playing?
And I'm like, no, why would I do that? But it's something I like. It's different from going to a job every day. Nothing wrong with a job in and of itself, because you have to make rent and stuff. But when you find something you're passionate about, that you get up every day. I've had projects where you should not do this. I'm not telling you to do this. I hadn't even asked them how much it was.
You were so excited about the opportunity.
But that's for you new actors, young and old. That's not the blueprint. But you definitely shouldn't do it to get paid, to do money, to just get paid, because you'll just do it for money. But always have the business in order too, because there's contracts and there's stuff you got to sign, and you don't know everything, and you need an agent. I don't have an agent, but those things. But yes, challenges wise, finding work and then pressing through your regular day job life to keep working, making your own projects, because no one else is hiring you. You can hire yourself, and everybody knows that now. We're in the social media, YouTube age and generation. They don't wait on nobody. No. You can't tell them nothing.
And they're waiting for new contents to be out there every day in itself. So with that being said, it's room to grow. It's just so many rooms to grow.
There's a lot of gigabytes and megabytes, and there's plenty of room and space. Google's making them. Facebook is making enough gigabytes for you to put your stuff out there. Just make sure. I hope I don't say it. Please, Lord, don't say it wrong. just make sure it's quality.
Thank you.
And
that's
if you're
important.
gonna do it, just let it be good. Let it be time well spent.
Yes.
Honing the craft, and when you put it out there, the people will feel like what you did was at time.
That's important. And it's going to be some trials and errors because you're just starting or you're getting started somewhere. But at the same time, with every job or anything that you do, you're growing into.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure that you're actually growing. You're not just constantly repeating yourself.
That's powerful.
And
great.
Now you want to come. Well, I started here. Well, I want to go here. Look around you. Don't be so channeled into what you're doing that you miss the whole show.
Wow.
Because it's a game out there.
God is good.
And
That's
you
a
need
powerful
to get
word
in
right
it.
there.
You need to get in that game because people are waiting on.
Get into the game and teach people too.
Exactly.
You're saying not just, and that's another part of it too.
I'm not, I'm glad you pointed that out. I'm not saying get in the game so you can mislead anyone or any negative points of it, because it's going to see that too. But what you want is to be able to be present in what's happening out there and be positive.
What you said, be present.
And be positive and be able to, someone can learn from you, because that means you're good if someone learning from you. So that's a really, really good thing.
Can I share one more challenge just before? I know you got to move on.
No.
But
go ahead.
The last challenge is the networking part, and what I mean is getting people to buy into what you're doing, to be with you long enough to get your project going. I'm still I'm good at networking in a talking, meeting, sharing type atmosphere, but when it comes to just sometimes people flake out on you. I'm just gonna be honest with you, and it happens. That's how people are. But pressing through that, I found that a deep challenge, because you get, sometimes you get butt hurt because you like, man, people is just not, but then God will send you the right people.
Yeah, and you have to be patient because it's not, and it's definitely, and I learned one thing, that He doesn't send it to us on our time. He actually sent it to us on His time, because if we look at what's happening on our time, something will come across our plate and it just be totally negative.
Right.
And we'll, as a fleshly person, will receive it and go down the wrong path, and then you'll miss what you really need to have.
Man.
So that's why I've learned over time to be patient. Patient is going to be a virtue in this game, in this actual field when you're an independent. Because I don't know how their journey, the people that we see on the big screen now, but if you look at some of their journeys, they had to be really, really patient. They was
tough.
Oh, it was a very hard journey. So, and I like that. I like hearing history. I like to hear how you get there. I don't want to see the Cadillac or the Mercedes or whatever you're doing now. I want to see
most people want to know how.
Yeah,
how they make. How do I make it?
Coat that you
I'm just a nobody
yeah.
from Memphis, Tennessee, with barely anything. How can you get me from point A to point B?
Yeah.
And that's how I invest in what you're doing, because that is the stories that make us. It's nice to see the fruits of it, but I think by default that's why I look at some of those characters, and when I see somebody, they just say, "Oh," then you can look, you can tell Google to look up Samuel Jackson, and they'll look it up, and she'll read a few blurbs about him, but then you got to read the rest.
He didn't start there. I mean, the highest level, he started at the lowest, and then when he did start, he kept going. He kept going. That's why you have to always keep walking. It's not what you're in right now. It's how you come out of it.
Come on.
So add to. But we're going to take a brief break. And we're going to come right back with Brandon Person on M&M Film Talk as he shares his journey. If you want to be on M&M Film Talk, all you have to do is email us at mnmfilmtalk@gmail.com, and we would love to have you on the show. And I'll get right back with you and let you know exactly what you'll need to do in order to actually come on the show. Well, we're back on M&M Film Talk. My name is Michelle Wilson, and I am so excited to be sitting here and sharing the journey from Brandon Person. He has given us a lot of information.
It's crazy. 7 years.
Yeah, but we're excited about those 7 years because you seem like you've done quite a bit. Yeah. So now, Brandon, tell me a little bit about what inspired you to take this walk.
It's so crazy. It was 7 years ago in May, I believe. I was living in Binghamton. I was living in I wasn't living there yet, but I had friends that were over there. We met over there in that cove all the time. And I walked over to a little coffee shop that I go to all the time. And my friend was just in there. And it's so funny because I'm not lying to you. I said a prayer that day. I said, Lord, I don't know why I said it that day, and I don't always say it. I said, Lord, please lead me.
Okay.
I don't even know what
That's really deep.
What that was about that day. I was like, why? Okay. I ask him sometimes. You ask him, you'll be like, Lord, lead me. But you don't think about like, oh, we're gonna have this,
Yeah.
And I had always sang. I've been singing since I was early, not a teenager, not seriously, but like I was 21 when I got seriously about it. But about that time, and so I was in choirs, and I had been in groups. I had traveled. I had done all that, and so because of that, singing was just easy. Plus this is Memphis, like everybody come out the womb singing. But I just that day I said that, and I walked coffee shop, and when I walked into the right, one of my good friends that I've been knowing since I went to MTSU up in Murfreesboro, or actually before then, she was sitting there, and she started talking to me, and there was this bald-headed white guy sitting next to her, and and he was talking to her, and she's like, hey, he sings. Put him in the play. And I was like, what?
Wow.
And I was like, huh?
Being at the right place at the right time. How about that?
So I wasn't looking to be no actor at the time. I was just like, oh. And so shout out to Brian Fruits, man. He put me in my first play, which was Serafina, my first community theater or major theater, Hadley theater play. And he was a white guy, but he was directing a play about some African American kids in apartheid South Africa. Actually, it's based on those real events, but the movie had already been out. Obviously, that movie came out like in the '80s with Whoopi Goldberg. But anyway, we did a small theater production adaptation of that, and it was awesome. And I fell in love with musical theater. And I don't know. I think people was looking at me like, it's not always like this. I was like, I want to do who else doing these musical? I sing and I want to move and I probably was the oldest person there or someone old. Okay. I didn't feel really weird, but I felt younger.
Yeah.
So choreography, all that, and then I was in another one right after that. So I will tell you, there's a person. Her name is Samika Johnson.
Okay.
She used to be Samika Ballard. She's pitched me other projects too, where I've ended up getting opportunities. So 2 major opportunities I've had, she just gave them to me.
Wow.
Because she knew somebody. So God is awesome in that aspect that, not that you go to have friends so that you can get things, but when you do know people and y'all genuinely have relationships, stuff happens, and that's just the way it was. And here we are.
So open up and don't be so shy. A lot of people hide their gifts. And you don't mind sharing your gift and being out there, and that's how you got picked up on all these different opportunities because you was open enough to share your gift.
And it was truly a blessing I never imagined.
Yeah, and that sounds good to see. And I want everybody to know that. Hearing what Brandon has to say today, I think that's going to allow people to make sure that they get more involved.
Absolutely.
Get a little bit more involved.
Put your hand to the plow.
That's right.
And don't look back and just be like, even if this fails, I'm going to just do it.
Exactly. Nothing I always say, nothing beat a failure but a try.
That's right.
And you have to try it in order to be successful.
Absolutely.
So now, tell us a little bit about what do you want to see yourself in the future?
I want to be in the future.
That's right.
I see myself as being more of a progenitor. I want to get to a place where projects people can. This year I started saying I'm in this for the collaboration.
Okay.
It's cool to do everything by yourself. That's awesome. I don't know if anybody else is like me, but my wheels start spinning and I get caught in my own head and I have nobody here to say, well, have you thought about that? So I'm in the arts for collaboration. I like the synergy that is created with people.
Yes.
Yeah, I can go home and buy a whole bunch of stuff and set up at the house and try to, but honestly, I don't enjoy doing any of that stuff all by myself. I know this current place that we're in, a lot of people have to do that, and you do. Now, to be sure, sometimes you do have to run that race on your own, but
just to get in the race.
So what I see myself is working with other bringing the money people to the creative people.
Exactly.
To the point where there is no bridge anymore. We have relationships. We trust each other. And Memphis and the world understands what we have right here.
Brandon showing us what he want, what his wants and his dreams. That's what M&M Film Talk is all about. Allowing people to share their journey, tell a little bit about and share themselves.
Yeah.
You have a voice. We all have a voice out there, but a lot of times we don't get a chance to have a platform to share it.
People need it.
And so that's what we want, and we want to invite you to be able to share your journey, your history, your present moment with everybody out there at M&M Film Talk. I think with the media sources that we have available for us today, we also have to have this too. So therefore, that's why we have this show. So you can do that. And you can do that by joining us on M&M Film Talk. Email us and we'll have you on the show at mnmfilmtalk@gmail.com, along with go to our YouTube channel, M&M Film Talk, Wilson Production. Ring the bell and you can get other shows that's coming up in the future for us. Now, tell me, we've talked quite a bit about what's happening with your life, and I'm so happy to hear about what you've done and how you got there and where you're going. I think we know that now. So what word do you have for someone who's listening and want to get started but afraid?
And there's a journey for everybody.
Okay.
And in life, there are things that finite man can't do for you. So if there's something in your heart that you want to do, definitely seek God about it. And I know everybody doesn't believe in God. Whatever you want to call him, I know what I call him.
Yeah,
find out what you should be doing. And if that's the thing that you should be doing, give everything you have to it. Seek that opportunity, seek that path to be able to do it more. And then try to, as you do that, you really won't have to try to put people around you. When you're doing that, the right people will be around you to encourage you. He will
supply you with the right people. God will.
And you got to hear from him, because I'm going to tell you, this is just a thing. You have to hear from him, because not everybody that is sometimes around you are the right people. They might be people that's trying to pull you away from it. They from. So
definitely not God.
So one, hear from God. And that's the first part. The second part is do it every day. I'm gonna tell you. I got to say this. I have to say this. This is so awesome. But when I say do it every day, a light went off in my head about 15 years ago. I went to LA and I was going to this concert. It was New Year's Eve, and I met Warren Campbell. He's the husband of Erica Campbell from Mary Mary. And I did not intend to. I knew I was gonna probably see them. I had no idea I was gonna talk to him. And he gave me the best word ever. I just don't know why it took me so long. But I said, I'm trying to make out. It was music at the time. Okay. And he said, just do it every day. And so I would say, number 2 is do whatever whether it's music or film or designing or painting or whatever art you do.
Whatever it is.
Do it every single day. And you almost, in a sense, will create your own job, just because that's what you're passionate about.
Yeah, you're a writer. Okay, don't let a day go by you don't spend at least 1 hour. If you can look at a television show, you can spend 1 hour actually writing something, even if it's just a little small paragraph into what your feature, what you want to see happen. Just put it together. Get your writing tablet out. Spend some time on what your craft is all about. And also with anything that you do, if you're a singer, if you're a dancer, if you're whatever area of performance that you're involved in, do it.
I know I said this was my last thing,
Go
My
right
friend
ahead.
would kill me if I didn't tell people on the camera because her name, my friend's name is Erica Jackson. You gonna probably interview her at some point.
Okay.
She's up for an award in Las Vegas for a show called Detours that she did last year that I was in,
All
and
right.
she's doing the second one this summer. And I just want to shout her out. If you follow her on social media, it's called Ephesians 6 Productions. She has a
Right.
ministry and a production that she's working. She's a young lady. She's an African American woman.
Okay.
She's trying to make things happen. Follow her on the socials. It's Ephesians 6 Productions, and she's on Facebook and all that. But Detours 2 is coming out in this year in the summer.
Well, we would love to have her on the show. Make sure she gets our information. Have her email me at mnmfilmtalk@gmail.com, and definitely we will have her on the show. Well, tell us how they can get in touch with you, and
Okay.
then that'll help them be able to
Fine.
reach out to you for anything that they want you to do.
Well, check it out. My website is brandonperson.com.
Okay.
And you check everything that you need, like my film reels and stuff like that is on there. It needs to be updated, but it's everything you need as far as finding me. My number's on there. My email is brandon@brandonperson.com, and you can find me. You can email me or whatever and ask inquiries, or if you just need me to give you some advice. If you want to work with me, I'm gonna be doing some projects that are based on stuff I write. So,
Okay.
we want to work together. Like I said, that's my hashtag this year. I'm here for the collaboration, and so yes.
Well, we have that at the bottom of the screen, and throughout the whole show you have seen some other things that we have on Brandon, and you'll continue to see him out there. I'm sure this guy is going to be doing some great things right here in Memphis as well as outside of the Memphis area.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, so you're looking for your feature, and I just want to say thank you so much, Brandon.
This is cool. I like this. This is really cool.
Well, we're so excited. This is really cool to just talk with you because you've shared so much. And if you would like to be on M&M Film Talk, all you have to do is email us at mnmfilmtalk@gmail.com, and we would love to have you on this show. Well, I just want to say thank you for joining us on M&M Film Talk, where we talk to real people in film.